Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is July 11, 2022, and today is Monday morning. So welcome back, everybody. And looking at the highlights of the day, the market's really wavering. There's no major economic events scheduled for today, but as we look at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, we have the major pairs just off of their lows, while looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ retrace. In terms of commodities, gold remains on support while oil is unchanged. In terms of the stocks, they're the ones that slightly gained last week. And lastly, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin just retracing after modest gains last week. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're taking a look at a weekly of the EURUSD. And last week we perpetuated this one, just staying above 1 on the EURUSD, and it is still weak. I mean, it's on its lows, hasn't really bounced much. Okay, you can see that here a little bit clearer. When we look at this area, you see that it's between this 101.70-ish level and 101.15-ish level right now, but it did hit 101.07. So, I mean, it's about 50 pips above where we were of our lows, but still not that big of a bounce. I would have expected it somewhere to be in the 50% bounce of 102-ish level, something around a little bit more aggressive than that. So this could still have some potential to sell off. Now looking at the GBPUSD, a little bit stronger here. This one did rally a little bit more, and if we look at the Australian dollar, and a little bit closer to the GBP as well. So the euro definitely playing out its weakness versus the USD. Now jumping into commodities, first looking at gold on that 1741 has not bounced. Okay, we've really been hovering around that support level. You know, the question is that whether or not it's going to get this bounce, because I would have expected it to get the bounce because inflation is an issue. We do have CPI number coming out later in the week, so that's something to play out in potential move in gold later this week. Now looking at crude oil, trading at 103 after dipping below 100 last week. Okay, altogether, we are in a downwards momentum, so to speak. Okay, we're still in a downwards momentum and we're trading sideways. But still, if this maintains this 103-ish level, doesn't break above it, we could see it test its lows again at 96 possibly. Okay, so keep an eye on this as this continues to trade. Now jumping to the U.S. markets, jumping into the Dow Jones, trading at 31,173. We rallied back to 31,400-ish level. Okay, that's a pretty decent rally from our 30,000 low where we hit earlier in last month. Okay, that was where we hit 29,800, and we're at that point, okay, where it is the least point of resistance right below our 30-day moving average. So this is really a decent place to think about shorting this if it doesn't maintain this upwards momentum going into the bounce of the summer. Now looking at the NASDAQ, same story here, trading at 12,044, a decent bounce. Okay, there was some decent locations for it to actually bounce above here, but still, it is relatively weak as the stocks have been quote-unquote rallying, more like short coverings. So looking at the individual stocks, Apple did gain to 147, but relatively still weak. I mean, if we look at a daily chart, we're off of our highs of 181. Question is how much further we're going to go down. That's the still question we have to ask ourselves. Microsoft also on the top of its range of 267. Looking at Amazon, unchanged much. Okay, at 115 did make back some of its real estate that it lost, but still at that top of the range. Now looking at Bitcoin, there we're trading at 20,475. We hit 22K last week, which was a decent move for it. All right, if we look at a daily chart, you can see a little bit better. That was the spot that we got to 18,000 to. So for us to move to 22,000 is a decent move, but I still believe we'll be in the range. We'll still be range bound trading. Upper range 22,000, lower range 18,000. So we're almost smack in the middle of that right now. So keep an eye on that as this unfolds during the week. So big CPI number coming out later in the week. So just maintain an open eye for this. Monday is generally a lighter trading session, so keep that in mind. This is Fred Razak, and I wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.